All right, Jay.
All right. I am ready.
I'm Tempest, since Jay won't introduce me. But some of you probably already know that, and we are Target Fixation Gaming, and this is our new podcast, Remedy This. And we're already making mistakes. We had a late start tonight because we just had some technical issues with, what were we doing? Twitch? Was it Twitch that was having problems with?
No, we just had to. So what we do is we stream to both Twitch and YouTube. We use a software that funnels the Twitch stream to YouTube. And since this is a brand new channel, that we just had to get everything set up with the stream key, all that.
Oh,
jazz.
it wasn't wanting to work just right because we had already created the channel and stuff. So it's not like we were slacking. It just wasn't wanting to. I remember you not wanting to it was not hooking up correctly or something.
Yeah, it was just some boring technical mumbo jumbo that you guys don't care about. So.
No, you don't care about it, but it's feels like our job to explain that we care.
Mm-hmm.
We care, and we're here to talk about Remedy stuff because that's what we care about the most.
That's right.
And so we brought some videos, and maybe we'll give it a moment for people to tune in because we were an hour late. We did make an announcement, and we're just sort of in here right now, waiting for people to join in. But you know what? We could probably go ahead, because people can rewind this to the beginning and catch the videos. But what we want to talk about today, because we have a lot to talk about, but what's on our agenda for today is some posts that we made on X that have a lot to do with Jesse and Dylan and their relationship and who they are and their mannerisms. We had a video that was just went crazy, and when we posted it, it was a video of, I think we talked about this before, they both have the same mannerism where they rub their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And but they rub opposite shoulders, but still Jesse does that throughout the whole game, and we thought she was hurt, but it turns out she was hurt once. In a different time, in a different world or reality or whatever. So that's something. Now, when we did it, I thought about it later. I'm like, you know what? This sounds like something that might be from Quantum Break. Now, Quantum Break, Remedy still doesn't own the rights to that as far as I know. Because I did check into it eventually. Finally, I did recently. I checked into it. And they still don't own the rights, but they have found creative ways to work in aspects of it. So why don't we go ahead and check out some of the videos that we put together. They're short. They just talk about, it's just basically, showing their similarities between Jesse and Dylan and how they behave and talk. So why don't we go ahead and do that?
All right.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know!
It's like we live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. Like in that movie, what is it called? The prison movie. The room's a cell.
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
Okay, so you just saw a few things that show that they're really similar in the way they talk and the metaphors that they use, and even again, like we showed the shoulder thing.
Yeah.
So there's actually it's funny because we have here the gameplay going on. We just have to exit photo mode, and so let's resume the game and go into documents, because the reason why the whole fuck off thing was actually, meaningful is because of a document that we find on Dylan, and that is Americans in Research. I think it's Dylan Faden transcript. So yeah, if you see, we would have this all like. Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have this all done already, but software doesn't allow us to do it this way. So, Jay, would you like to read?
I would not.
Of course not.
Okay. Federal Bureau of Control. Transcript of conversation. Subject Dylan Faden for review by Dr. Darling. Confidential. Note. Subject was alone during his outburst. Dylan Faden, 1752-16. You again. I thought I told you to leave me alone. Dylan Faden, 1752-22. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me these things I can't do anything about. Dylan Faden, 1752-36. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore. And I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. Dylan Faden, 1752-46. Fuck off, you bitch. I will dig out my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. Subject repeated the phrase fuck off numerous times before being sedated at 1753.
So yeah, that's where the whole like fuck off thing comes from, because they made they made a big deal out of it in a way. Like they noted it. It's like something significant, like, he must say this a lot. And Jessie really doesn't, she really doesn't swear a whole lot during the game, but she does say that a couple of times, and one right in front of them. So it's like kind of just similar terms that they use, I guess. And that's one when they're particularly angry. So anyway, so yes, the siblings, they referred to by the director, right? I can't remember his name. You do. Mikhail.
Kasserinen.
Kasserinen, yeah. Describe them as like two sides of the same coin. So when you notice, like Dylan rubbing his shoulder, and we have an idea, I don't think we showed it yet, of where Jesse's shoulder rubbing thing comes from. And but Dylan, we don't know, because we don't know a lot about Dylan, from his time at the oldest house. We know some things, like, this document and a couple of recordings, but we don't know a lot. We don't know if he ever got hurt. We don't know that. But what we do know is that, at least my interpretation of the whole two sides to the same coin is, if now we're going to go into quantum physics here for a second, because that's, the big thing, all of this, Remedy and quantum physics, quantum break, all that stuff this is like, kind of reminds me of like a situation of quantum entanglement. So if you want a quick definition, because I suck at explaining it. I was just talking to someone about this recently. Like, it's when you get your mind wrapped around the concept, it's easier to understand than it is to explain it. But quantum entanglement is a fundamental phenomenon in quantum mechanics where particles, they're obviously not particles, but I think we just have to treat it as such for the fiction, become interconnected in such a way that the state of one particle instantly influences the state of another, regardless of the distance separating them. This effect, often referred to as the spooky action at distance, a term famously coined by Albert Einstein. So that's definitely interesting one. Look it up. Do some reading on it. I think it applies a lot to this. Again, I know that they're not, we're not dealing with particles here, but we're dealing with that same theme, So that's a thing. But yeah, so we've got a nice picture up here of talking about Dylan getting pissed off. But we do have other things to talk about. So the shoulder injury. Okay, I shouldn't have said injury because I just gave it away. But why don't we put the picture up of Jesse? And this is going to be another life, another reality. It's Beth Wilder from Quantum Break, and it's one of the final things that happens in the game. You can go ahead and put it up, and we'll just show that. Something we posted on X recently. Is it okay? So, yeah, Beth Wilder. She got shot in that same shoulder at the end of Quantum Break, and there's a post that we did about how Jesse, or actually in the DLC for Alan Wake 2 Timebreaker, she comes in as the agent, and she explains to the actor, I guess, is what they call him, which would be Sheriff Breaker or Tim Breaker, whatever you want to call him. Possibly, you know, I guess it would be like, what, Jack Joyce in Quantum Break. And she explains to him that the feelings that he's having are related to, or just echoes from a different life, from a different, you know, reality, a version of them from a different reality. So that kind of seems like, you know, something that could come into play on that. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Remedy's doing their whole the Remedy connected universe. So, you know, with Control and Alan Wake, and, you know, despite not having the rights to Quantum Break, you know, obviously they want to you know, add some things from that in, as we saw in Timebreaker. And, you know, with like we saw in Alan Wake 2, how they included a lot of stuff from Control and The Oldest House. It's not surprising that they would kind of do a little crossover with Quantum Break and Control. And, you know, like we see, like you saw previously with both Jesse and Dylan with their shoulder, and that it definitely seems that Remedy is kind of going towards that quantum physics, multiple reality.
Yeah, the many worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. That's, I mean, there's so many different signs of it, but just done in different ways. Like I said, there's, you know, it's obviously fiction, and they're going to fictionalize a lot of things. You know, like I said, they're not particles. We're not observing particles, but we're observing, you know, something similar in action. So I think that, I mean, that's my interpretation. Although it could be that Dylan still had some sort of injury at some point, you know, similar to Jesse. But we don't know, again, much about his past. We don't know where he was. But we do have a crazy board. If you want to show that, we have a crazy board by Tim Breaker.
It has Tempest on it, just kidding.
It does, because I am part of the craziness that is happening. So, yeah, do you want to show it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
We have to kind of take turns with this. But, yeah, we'll show Tim. For anyone who's watched Alan, or not watched, but played Alan Wake 2, you know what I mean. So. Okay, so yeah, Jesse and Dylan both on the list.
Yeah.
So that, and that's coming from Tim Breaker, who we also kind of have, at least I don't know about you, Jay, but I sort of have this feeling that like he's one of those versions of what would be, if they still had the rights, Jack Joyce, from Quantum Break, and his endless amount of identities or faces that they say. He's got thousands of faces and different realities where he's a different person. He's different but the same.
Yeah.
So if he's a different person, there's no reason why he can't be a brother to someone or romantic partner to someone or whatever. But they seem to kind of keep coming together, him and the Jessie character, who is Beth Wilder. So that's an interesting one that we want to explore more and hear more thoughts and ideas and theories about it, because we don't actually watch other content creators' content, unfortunately. I mean, it sounds like it would be a good idea, but for us it's more like, well, it might influence what our perception, like what we, how we interpret the game that we play, and we want to kind of have a clean slate, something clean to work with, so we don't do that. And as much as I would love to give other content creators that deserve it my views, unfortunately, we can't, because we're creating the same content, but just from a different perspective, and we really want to keep that, like I said, keep that clean. So what do we got next? So we're talking about siblings. We showed you their mannerisms and heard some of their mannerisms. This letter that I have up, this is interesting. Okay, I don't know, you may have already read it as I sit here rambling, but there's a video, and I've posted it several times on X, like since 3 years ago. I found a picture under the bed of Dylan's containment cell in the Panopticon, and it was a picture, and it has Jesse's name on it, as if Jesse drew it. So for a long time, I was like, well, that's confusing. Did he just draw it and put her name on it? Or why is there a kid's picture? He's an adult now, So there's all these questions, right? So we were going through documents, and we found this one that we read more carefully. And Jake, would you like to read it?
No. Just kidding. Okay. Official findings report. Re the Prime Candidate Program. Internal/confidential. Summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, redacted, by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic redacted and redacted. Redacted were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director under maturity. The program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic redacted of paranaturally inclined redacted. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human redacted. This investigation team unequivocally redacted the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be redacted immediately.
Yeah, so it sounds like they brought in more than one someones or some things that they plan to make one of them director upon maturity.
Yeah.
So does that mean that we can maybe assume that Jessie had at some point been at the oldest house and she escaped? And her memory is just skewed a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, she is considered P7. So, I mean, just to even have that, I guess, classification,
right,
that she was even considered to be a prime candidate. I mean, I wouldn't think that they would consider someone to be a prime candidate who's never even been to the oldest house, doesn't even know about the oldest house. I mean, it's kind of, something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And, they talk about it later, though. They talk as if Jessie was never there. Dr. Darling, we have a video for you guys. Darling presentations. Oh, wait, that's the hotline. Darling presentations. And this one is, yeah, and he mentions catching up with Jesse, I think, something like that. Like, once we catch up to her, like, I mean, there's in the Prime Candidate program, she has her own room, P7, and it shows they've been taking pictures of her throughout her, it looks like most of her, like, adult life, or, you know, whatever. They don't have any pictures of her when she's little. And so it's, you know, they've been watching her, but for some reason they just never caught her. I have a theory as to why, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see those pictures, and they've obviously been tracking her and just kind of trying to keep an eye on her. But yeah, like, but they never caught her, at least that we know of.
And you know, and I would suspect that they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's like, okay, they were so close enough to take that picture. Why didn't they just snag her up multiple times? And like I said, I have a theory about that. I'll, you know, get into maybe another video. But right now, let's go ahead and play the Dylan Faden.
Dylan's a lost cause. I know I struggled to see this, but we've contained him now. I wish I had sided with Marshall. Back when it was just one person. So many dead. I thought his youth was acid. Just too much too soon. Ordinary. So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. And the boy, Dylan Faden, Prime Candidate 6. And the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, that's so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here. And I don't want to invoke his name, but it's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. We lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. Like, I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys. He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Roberts got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
So yeah, I should have showed those in the opposite order, but I didn't. So, but you get the picture. Somehow Jesse was sort of forgotten in a way until Dylan didn't work out, and then they started questioning him when they realized, I think, that he wasn't going to be able to handle this. They started asking him in one of the recordings, I think it was at it was where his cell was in the Panopticon. As a matter of fact, I think we have that, of course, it should be in here, but it's he won't. They start asking him where she is, where she might be, and it's upsetting to him, but it's also it is suspect. You know, it is a little suspect. Like, why are you? But what's the most significant about it, at least I feel, is that he won't mention anything about her. And I don't think it's only because he's angry at her. He just might not know.
Yeah.
He might not know because, well, we'll get to that. Let me see. Is this the one here?
I won't take up too much of your time today, Dylan.
Yeah,
Like I
think.
said, I want to talk about Jessie,
Yeah.
your sister.
What about her?
I just want to get your perspective. What do you think of her? What kind of person is she? That sort of thing.
I adored my sister. When I was little, I mean, back in Ordinary.
And you don't anymore?
When I first got here, sure. I'd always hoped she'd come too. Find me, to take me home. We went everywhere together. Why should this be any different? Casper said she could come too, to the Bureau, if she wanted to. But she never did.
Why do you think that is?
Because she didn't care about me. She always wanted to be out on her own, seeing the world. She always said so. Because she got what she wanted.
Great. So she wanted to see the world. Did she ever mention any place in particular?
Why?
We like to ask questions around here, you know that. Any particular cities, towns, landmarks, anything like that?
I don't remember.
What about family friends? Were you close with anyone living outside of Ordinary?
I'm done with this. Tell Casper I want pizza for lunch today.
Dylan, wait, we're not... End of session.
So you notice how in anyone who's played the game, both he and Jesse, they just say, I don't know, when being questioned about their childhood.
Right.
Like when they're asking Jesse about pictures and things and family, she's like, I don't know. I don't remember. So we will address that elephant in the room, in our room. I don't hear many people talking about that, but how much Alan Wake might be involved in what's going on. And why wouldn't he? He was involved in the events of AWE, the DLC.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense that he'd be involved with this, and it's not the neuralizer from Men in Black where, you know, you just flick that thing and then you automatically lose all your memories.
Yeah, we'll jump to him really quick. And let's see, where is Alan Wake?
I think he's at the very bottom. Oh, it's
Oh, the hotline.
Hotline, yeah.
He got in on the hotline. That's
did.
another thing. And he's not dead, as far as we know. Okay, here we go.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle. Trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
So, yeah, there we go. He knows about the oldest house, about Jesse, about the hiss, about the service weapon. Didn't he mention the gun? Whatever.
Yeah, he did.
And of course, we know this from the DLC, but I don't think in the DLC he really, like, was aside from that he really talks much about the hiss.
Yeah, he really doesn't. I mean, like when Jessie first gets to the ocean view, she sees Alan and Zane, but I mean, obviously in that interaction, nothing is talked about with the service weapon, anything like that. Just about Scratch, but
yeah, and he knows about Trench.
He does know about Trench.
The
that's
previous
right.
director. He doesn't say his name, but he knows that there was a previous director. So Alan is manipulating circumstances within the Bureau, possibly ordinary, and maybe he has even pushed Jesse to or back to the oldest house. He knows, about Polaris. That's a big deal because Polaris could be that link. I mean, I think, well, she's obviously linked to, at least we've come to understand, to the protections that they have against, like, the hiss and things like that. Now, Dylan didn't want her around, or that entity Polaris, but he was kind of stuck with her, I think. But
yeah, because like in that document that we had read, like he's like, just get the fuck away, fuck off, and also too, when Jesse visits Dylan in his cell, and then Polaris shows up, and then Dylan just gets pissed off. He's like, you. And
he can tell, he can sense their.
Yeah, whereas anyone else that she talks to, when Polaris does her little thing around Jesse,
I mean, you can kind of see her.
Yeah, no one else notices her. So
yeah, it's that connection that they have, regardless of where it comes from or how it happened. Maybe it was a synchronicity event, if you want to talk about, stuff, bureau jargon. Maybe was that what happened in Ordinary? Maybe. Was it what happened at the bureau? Dylan was there. Could have been. Maybe. I mean, it really depends on, again, we don't know enough about Dylan's background, and hopefully that will change with the second game. Yeah. Hopefully we're not just like picking up from where they left off in the lake house, with like no additional background information. So, I mean, because that's the whole part of, I think the biggest part of like what I love so much about Control and Alan Wake too is the story, the narrative, the mysteries. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great story, and I would love to get some more background on Dylan. I mean, Dylan and Jesse.
Ordinary.
Yeah. We had talked about maybe they'll do a DLC or something that kind of goes more in depth about what happened in Ordinary. I mean, we get documents and when Jesse's talking to the counselor, but it would be nice to kind of go more in depth about that, get some more information.
I would love that. That would be amazing. Then we can see all the things that they say they don't remember, whether they're suppressing that on purpose or not on purpose or whatever it may be. But they don't really talk about their parents ever either. You notice that they don't talk about it. They weren't manufactured. Now, one thing that is said over and over and over throughout the years, people debating about Alan Wake and how he can't create people, even in a story. That's not 100% true. And that comes from because, like, how Sam Lake is a big David Lynch fan, Twin Peaks or whatever. Well, in that show, there's the use of tulpas, and those are created. Those are created by a person who, sometimes they practice, it's like, occult type stuff, but it doesn't have to be sort of like an imaginary friend, but just more like maybe just read up on it so we don't have to go on a long explanation. But I don't think that's what Jesse and Dylan are necessarily. But I do want to say one thing though. At the end of Control, when Dylan was in that coma, I instantly got the Insidious vibes. Like,
absolutely.
Okay, someone, his body is available for someone to use as a vessel, right? Is that going to be Alan Wake or Scratch or some other entity? You know, because at that point Alan Wake was still stuck in the lake, right? So, you know, at least, you know, that's what we are believing, led to believe, because like remember this whole lake house stuff is going on too at the same time. Because they had letters from Estevez already here at the oldest house, and this is 2019. So it took how many years?
13 years.
Yeah. So, you know, that's
Yeah.
when this is gonna like actually be occurring, like Control 2, and then Alan Wake writing about like the FBC, like how long ago that happened,
Right.
beforehand. So did, you know, like, and then why did he write it?
Right. I mean, yeah, like, yeah, you know, Dylan would be the perfect vessel for Alan Wake to use.
Or Scratch.
Or Scratch, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it does make sense that, and yeah, it took, Alan 13 years to get out of the dark place, and I mean, it's to say that, yeah, Dylan didn't have something to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that at the end of Alan Wake, you know, it's like, well, he was the same person, whatever, but, you know, like, Scratch is that whole other side of him that you don't know what he's going to do, right? So he, you know, and right now, actually, we do have a picture, the Scratch sign. Do you want to put that up?
Yeah.
We do have a picture that came straight from the Control reveal trailer. And it shows, you'll see a sign, a street sign, and it's by the Thomas Street, and it's scratched out. So we'll show that. You know, maybe we should have put a little circle around it.
Yeah, it's you know,
yeah, the street sign you probably saw.
yeah, it's a little hard to tell at first, but yeah, it's over on the right side. I mean, we can always put it back up again, but yeah, just there on the right side, that street sign that's scratched out.
Yeah, it's it says Thomas Street on one, and we know that everything's folded on each other and on top of each other, you know, the streets and the city, whatever. So like one side is like Thomas Street and the other side is like Thomas but backwards. And then on I think the cross street sign, it's scratched out with white. The same way that, you know, things were scratched out in New York, because it's all New York. Of course, these things seem to be centered around New York and Alan Wake. You know what I mean? Like there's so much of Alan Wake in everything. So, with the exception of, I guess, you know, well, Quantum Break, he was even in there too in that The Return.
Yeah.
The on the TV straight from the beginning. You know, Alan Wake. Alan Wake's in everything. He may not be always 100% the center of everything, but he has some hand in it. He has some part in it. And I don't know, with Control 2 being, you know, Sam Lake has no involvement, I don't know if Alan Wake's going to be involved in any of it, but I think it would be wise to carry that because he already started.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that Alan Wake would be in Control 2 in you know, some shape or form. I mean, whether it just be say like they had in Quantum Break, like on the TV, maybe they'll have something similar to that, or like in Alan Wake 2 when they had Jesse on the TV. But I would be surprised if they didn't have him in there in, you know, in some regard.
Yeah, so that's something that is going to be really interesting to well, I'm looking forward to for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Everybody wants, just admit it, everybody wants it to see Alan Wake. Alan Wake's got job security.
He really does.
He's got the job security. He knows what he's doing half the time, I think. So, anyway, yeah. I mean, we've actually addressed quite a lot. I don't think we have any viewers right now because this is brand new. So hopefully, when this gets out, we're trying to post on X. We're trying to get the word out because we have, our established channel, Target Fixation. We go live and we do get people in, we do get views. But right now, X is, well, being X, and we really, we could try Instagram or other ways to get the word out that we're doing a live. But I think what's going to be the best way to go is just our schedule every Sunday at 9 p.m. to roughly 10 p.m. So about an hour, and that's Pacific Standard Time, of course. And except for Easter, I guess Jay mentioned, like, oh, Easter. Like, oh, that's true. Okay, so let's just, make them aware we will stay away from holidays because we got like a Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day, all those days.
Mm-hmm. I'll be visiting my aunt in Delaware.
Okay. All right, Brian. This is Brian Hennerman I'm here with today.
Yeah, you guys thought it was Jay, but this is actually Brian Hennerman.
Well, then who am I? Oh, no, I'm Peggy from wherever with the green lamp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I have a green
America
lamp
Overnight.
husband. Yeah,
That's right.
And you have a podcast.
Yeah.
where you review movies.
Yeah, like a delivery disaster.
Yeah. Well, we do want to talk about Trench and the Hiss, but we might save that for next time because it's on the list for tonight. But since we aren't getting any views right now, any active views, then we probably should just go ahead and, at least I'm not seeing them. Mm-hmm. I don't see them I don't know about Twitch. I don't think so, but I'm not seeing anything in YouTube. So what we might do is just save some of this conversation for later. And if there's any pictures or videos that we didn't show today, that could be something we maybe leave off with. Is just the things that we didn't show today.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I just checked Twitch. Yeah, I didn't have anything on there either.
Well, I think what we should address, though, something we did post on X, and I think from now on maybe we won't post on X like what we're going to talk about, because not only does it give people time to figure stuff out, like figure out what we're going to talk about, but it helps us to not have to, go around. Like today, actually, somebody posted on I think it was the Beth and the Jesse thing, mm-hmm. and they posted exactly something that we were going to talk about tonight. So it's like it already gave it away, and then people started already talking about it, and it's like, well, we want to save it for the podcast so we can all talk about it. This is about community. That's why it's a podcast, mm-hmm. and not just a video and just put out there and just stuck on the videos page of our YouTube channel. This is a podcast, so we'll just do that. We'll just kind of keep the subjects like under wraps until we get to that day, so we can have some nice surprises. But there is one thing that I did post that we might as well just get out of the way, and that's the Doors, mm-hmm. not the band. Not the band you would think of when you think of Jim Morrison and Mr. Scratch, right. Thomas Zane, right? Mm-hmm. Not that. So the Doors, there's what is it? Not the Mind. It's Dylan's Mind Place. What's it called? The Gap.
Yeah.
So we've seen the Gap, but we've also seen those same sort of doors other places too. So we're going to show a picture. So another little picture collage showing where we see some of those same types of doors. Yep. Okay, so obviously we have, the door, the one at like Warland Doors, the show, the Mr. Door show, it's right there. That makes sense. And it looks exactly like, with the exception of like the actual doors, this hole in the ground that goes downstairs and leads to a door. That's where, it looks exactly like that. The one where Jessie is trying to find her brother in Coffee World. Yeah. That, same thing, stairs that lead down to a door at the bottom of the stairs. And in there is like the cell, but Alan is in there. And so the same type of situation here, the set of stairs that leads to a door at the very end. And those seem to be reoccurring throughout. There's more in Alan Wake too. There's some in Quantum Break, like, of course they call Hatch, but then there's Hatch, Martin Hatch is like the Mr. Door. Yeah. And so we'll see those around. So it kind of makes you wonder, with the Remedy Connected Universe, what that's going to all kind of be related to, if anything. If that's supposed to be symbolic of something, or be, a similar way through realities or different places, like the way Door moves through different places and realities. Yeah. I know it's just supposed to be his mind place sort of thing, but I guess we'll find out more. They're not going to tell us everything right away. But we can only speculate. So yeah, as far as the whole Quantum Break thing goes, and speaking of Warland Door, we have, I guess, one last thing, and that would be from Timebreaker. Now, what I'm kind of, I posted something on X. I'm like, I'm concerned about him right now, and it's Sheriff Breaker. And so after Sheriff Breaker disappears, he is alone. He's alone in the DLC. He's alone under the gazebo, under the light, in Coffee World. And Jessie visits him. Then he's alone in Alan's Nightmare New York, which is really just abandoned now. But Saga moves through there. And so he's there. She talks to him, and he has his little lantern. So he's got a light. Got a light. And, and then when she comes out from the door, he's not there anymore. He's gone. So we don't know kind of where he is or what may have happened to him. But if he is involved in any way, if he does turn out to be, if that's a version of Dylan, or Dylan's a version of him, whatever, if that's a version of I guess we can't go too much into Quantum Break because, we haven't even played, like, that whole game on, posted a gameplay or even reviewed it or anything, really. But most Remedy fans are going to know when we talk about, if we said something about Branch, But, yeah, so really, really, really wanting to know what's happened to him. Really. He was in the DLC Timebreaker, and again met with Jesse is called the agent and he's called the actor. So one thing that's I think noteworthy, and Jay, we've talked about this, is that the finished tango is only really played. It really is only played. I heard Ahti like humming a little bit, maybe a small part of it in Alan Wake 2, but it's only played in like Control, Jesse, and in Timebreaker.
Right.
So for those two characters, that's where you hear that finished tango. And in Timebreaker, it's actually called the Hero's Tango. And if you pay attention to the lyrics, turn on your subtitles when you play that, and you'll hear the story, basically. The first part is like Alan's story, and the second part sounds more like what would be, we'll say, Tim Breaker's story, if he is this, time traveler that keeps getting versions of himself killed by Mr. Door. So, so we'll go ahead and play that and just leave it there. All right. All right, guys, it looks like it's going to take us a second to get it, but I hope you hang in there because it's actually a really interesting one, and we do want to show it. Tonight has just been, again, this is our first podcast. Jay is over there taking care of this, and that's actually really cool of him because it takes a sec, but yeah, so we just we wanted to leave off with something good, something more, and maybe a little thought-provoking before our next podcast, and we'll talk about some more things. But hey, if anyone has any ideas that of things that you might want to hear more about, things you would like for us to elaborate more on, things you've been maybe had on your mind that you want to talk about, chat we keep open, not so much on Twitch but on YouTube for sure. We like to keep that chat open for anything we do, streams or podcasts or whatever. So okay, Jay says that we're not having any luck with it, but here's what we'll do. We'll get it and we'll post it on X.
That's right.
We will just post it on X. We'll post it on our main channel, Target Fixation Gaming, and then we'll post it on the podcast site as well. So if you want updates or announcements about the podcast, go ahead and follow us on X or subscribe to the channel, and that way you can get notifications when we're going to do our next podcast, or if we have any clues or anything, or like as far as like subjects we're going to be covering. Mm-hmm. We won't give away too many clues like we tend to always do. That's me. I get really excited and I'm like, this is what we're going to talk about, and then then it's not as fun or exciting when we get to it, I guess.
Right. It's easy to do, though. I mean, yeah, you get excited about something, you discover something new. It's like you want to share it. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot to share and a lot to talk about with these games.
There is, yeah. I mean, been going back through Control and finding all kinds of information, and it's been fun, speculating what's gonna go on in Control Resonant, and just kind of going over our thoughts and theories.
And that the guided imagery that they just put in an update it was in December maybe. Mm-hmm. If you haven't played Control, then you'll want to, if you want that mission. It's not too far into the game, actually. Mm-hmm. And you can do the mission, the guided imagery, and it's actually really fun. It is. But I don't think they put it in there just because they finally did it. I think it could have some relation to what's going to be happening in Control, Resonant. So,
mm-hmm. And if you don't feel like playing it, we have it uploaded, so you can. Yeah. So if you want to head over to Target Fixation Gaming, we've got the video up there that you guys can watch, and it's really cool.
Yeah, because we played it live, and then we were like, oh my god, like, wow, this is new. We haven't ever seen this. And then what we did was we just took that whole section of just the portions where she goes in, because she goes in twice, and we recorded that, or we made a video, so that way you don't have to like go through a live stream, and watch a VOD and like try to track it down. We made its own video and put it on our YouTube channel on under Target Fixation Gaming, so you can try there. Yeah, and there's also a short, but it's just like a preview, so don't watch the short, watch the video, and I think that you'll be just as impressed as we are. It was really cool, but see if we can make any sense out of it as far as like what it might have to do with Control Resonant. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
It was stressful, but it was fun. And I think that next time we will, we'll know our mistakes and we'll be a little more energetic,
But yeah, I mean, we were able to get all the information out, and
most of it, yeah.
Most of the information.
Have a couple things for next time.
Yeah. I mean, even being an hour late, we're still able to do the podcast tonight. Had a lot of fun with it.
Yes. So anyone that maybe did join in that we can't see, thank you so much. Anyone that watches this later, thank you so much too. And we'll just keep doing these because eventually, just like anything, eventually people will come. And Remedy fans are tight. I know that. So thanks again, and we will see you in another video.
See you in the next one.